on and put me on the spot.
Come on, let's do this.
Okay.
Are we open hands?
Diane, where you going, huh?
Get her mom.
Well, let's talk first before we pray.
Yeah, let's
Prayer
pray.
be the end.
Okay.
That's what
She's trying to bring Genesis.
I want to talk about the fact that my first oldest sister, the one that's number one older than me, that's not here, my grandmama whooped me one time. One time. Y'all hear me? One time.
That was enough.
It was in this house. And it was for something I didn't do. Grace.
You ready to start, John?
Well, Granddad used to always leave money for Grandma on the dresser. And when he went to work. And he always left the same amount. Well, somebody came on this. And you know, my sisters know that I was a little thief.
This used to be a big kitchen on the wall here, going up the stairs of the street. They painted over it once every time they had the house redone in the 90s. Woodwork and glass.
I'll take money out of my daddy's pants pocket. Not take nothing from my grandmother. You know? They talk about me having 5 sisters and being spoiled because of that. If there's anybody spoiled me, it was my grandmother. So, she questioned us. I go, I didn't take it back. She said, oh, we'll go for it. I'll get you right on. That's that old folks, remedy, there you go. So, she whooped us both. She whooped us with that big spatula that used to hang in there. Over one of the red dining room chairs, we didn't have arms on. And that was my daddy and my mom was in the room. We some hell of 5 boys. And I said it just like that, that's how I mean it. Especially daddy, because he got talking.
talk for 10 minutes.
So, she whooped us both. We went on to school, and as we walking down Jackson, we get to home and get ready to catch the bus. Grace going one way, I'm going the other. She come out of her pocket with a quarter, hand me a quarter. And I'm like, where you get this from? She said, here, boy, just take it. So I took the quarter. When I got home, I said, Grandma, Tiny took your money. We used to call her Tiny. She grew out of that, but we used to call her Tiny. I said, Tiny took your money because she gave me a quarter down the street. She said, okay, I'll get it. But I'm like, man, that whooping hurt me more than any whooping I ever had. You know, and I done had some, you know. Let me tell you all this. When we lived on Arlington, you remember how I used to run out the street, run out the house?
Yes.
Neighborhood boys, your brothers. Your brothers. Be chasing me down, bring me back to Mama, Marisa Marcellus. Was it Verdale. And they bring me back to the house and stand outside laughing and joking. Hey, I could hear them. Hey, y'all, do get a whooping, do get a whooping. Well, one day I outran, I don't know who it was, I don't think it was them, but I outran whoever was chasing me. And I ran through the back parking lot, the driveway of Daniel Webster. And then that alley came out on, what's the name of that street? Was it? Taylor, by the railroad tracks. So I'm running through there, and there was a factory that sat on the back part of it. And I run past Daddy. I run past Daddy, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I kept running, you know. And he turned around, he said, dude. And I just went, oh. I had to go back, and I got me a couple more whoopings. He talked to you and then he hit you. He talked to you and then he hit you. And then he came back and said, oh, I forgot you ran from your mama. But I tell you what, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this house. All of mine are violent. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You know, when Daddy moved in over
like
here, he was in his own spirit, I guess. I don't know if I even call it that, but he had a smart mouth. Daddy, y'all know, Daddy didn't mince words too much. He was in the kitchen, sitting down to eat, and he said something to Grandma, and he turned around and smacked her on her rear end. She swung around with that backhand, knocked him out that chair. Daddy was on the floor, and he was getting himself up. He said, "Well, I ain't gonna do that no more." So I call myself being mad at Grandma after that, because she hit my daddy. She noticed my little frown. She said, later on, she says, "What you mad about?" I said, "Because you hit my daddy." She said, "Look, that's my son." She said, "If I want to hit him, I hit him." Now, Daddy, what, in his 40s, 50s? She knocked the living stew out of him. But let me talk about more happier times. Okay. I just want to talk about how many dinners we had here that grandmother, I ain't gonna say slave. She cooked with her heart and her soul, and she made God the best yeast rolls. Oh my goodness!
That's a Jackson thing.
There was no telling what may be on that table. Now when I tell you, the table was about right here to about almost to where Diane's standing, or Doug's knees, and that table would be full of food.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! And she would just love it.
Yes, she did. She would set it out.
There was no question about where you was going to be for Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner.
Right.
There was no question whatsoever. And she used to tickle me because she used to take a little sip of wine every now and then. And then she'd get to laughing and giggling. Just cracking me up. I love my grandmother. I love my granddaddy. Granddaddy was quiet. He took me to a White Sox baseball game one time. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this when I'm done, Tammy. Took me to a White Sox baseball game one time. There's some little boys standing out there. And he said, "You can park right here for $2. Something, $2, $1 or something." And Granddaddy said, "Okay, I'll pay you when I come out." So game over, we come out. Little boy standing there. He says, "This man in there told me I wasn't supposed to park here, and I'm lucky it didn't get towed, so I'm not giving you nothing."
That poor little boy.
Oh my goodness. That's don't even touch the tip of the memories I have in this house. And it's just, man. And Auntie. Lord have mercy.
Doug, you want to go next?
Speaking of aunties, since you brought it up, because I was wondering, what am I going to say? I've got many memories because I lived here for a period of time. But I used to have a lot of fun with her. I mean, she was, even though she'd be intoxicated, we would play Uno and spades and had the greatest time. And she didn't say Uno, she would say, "You know." But anyhow, so she would be drunk down here, and she'd get to crying. I would be upstairs in my room, Daddy would be in his room. And she'd get to crying down here, and she was mainly crying over Butch and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she would say, "Lord, you know, because I don't know." And she would continue to say that all while she was crying. And, you know, I learned not to even try to get her to come upstairs as we were mom. But anyhow, you know, there was I used to think there was a ghost in there. And it would be, the one time I heard something coming up the steps at night. And Daddy was down here watching the news. And I thought it was Daddy coming up the steps. And he had a routine. For some reason, he kept all his medicine on my dresser right at the door. And so I was used to hearing him open the door, and then I hear the pill bottles. Well, I heard, it came down to I was hearing the pill bottles. And I said, Daddy, and there was no answer. Daddy, still no answer. Well, I jumped up out that bed, ran downstairs, now I'm scared. And told Daddy, and he just laughed. But it was just many memories like that. I have like quite a few of those. But anyhow, this house, you know, always reminded me of our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And more than anything. And I remember how Auntie would not change a thing in this house.
What did not go out of here either?
There was a lampshade, because Grandma would pick these nice lampshades, but this one was old, dirty, and ragged. And Auntie, I told Auntie, I said, Auntie, we buy a new one. She refused to get rid of that thing. And when we would try to throw things, away when Auntie wasn't around. Somebody would be standing in the backyard, and we'd pass it through the window. And I don't know how Auntie would know, because when she would come back from wherever she was, do you know that little sideways walking woman would go back out into that garbage and get whatever we threw away?
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, that's all I'm gonna say. You know, just.
Let me say one more thing right quick. I don't think it would be right for us to do these memories. I know it's about family, but this man was part of our family. Mr. Chrisdale Christmas.
Who?
Mr. Chris.
Oh, is that what he?
Mr. Chris.
Yeah, Mr. Chris. That's right.
He died upstairs.
And you know what? When we lived on Hart,
Mm-hmm.
and Grandma lived on the first floor, I thought he was kin to us.
Mm-hmm.
So when he would tell me things, you know, I do them.
Yeah.
Because I thought, when I found out that man wasn't kin to us, it's a whole new ball. Because he act like
He was the head.
Everything Grandma said.
That's right.
Ooh, Miss Adams. If she said something about Auntie or Granddad. Anyway.
That was her yes man.
Yeah. She would never tell him be quiet or shut up.
He was devoted.
And then I got so I couldn't stand him. But anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about my memories real quick. They're very singular. Repeatedly falling down these steps as a young child.
What?
I have, with regularity, I have fallen down these steps. And then I have memories when Granddaddy would come back from Florida for driving the family down there that he worked for. He brought home a case of oranges. And Jody and I sat in the basement and ate a half a case of oranges, one after another, for real, for real. My very best memory is when we would come over here, we could always come to the kitchen. There was always something to eat. And then I would go downstairs in the basement and sit with Granddaddy on his lap. He'd be listening to the ball game and drinking Schlitz, and he would give me some.
Meister Brown. No,
Schlitz.
it was Schlitz here.
Schlitz, yeah.
Meister Brown on Harding.
And then we graduated to upstairs, and so when nobody else was home, I'd sit in his lap, or we'd sit right there at the window and listen to the ball game and drink Schlitz. And then Auntie pressing and curling our hair and giving us Shirley Temple curls. And then when we were fortunate enough that we had the house and be able to host the family again like we used to do, and so it really was my pleasure to be able to do that.
Amen. Thank you.
So I guess it's my turn. Okay, so I have admittedly mixed feelings about having lived here. I moved here probably about 20 years ago in order to facilitate Daddy's care after I sold the house. My best memories are like everybody else's, when I would come here, and at that time, cherries were my favorite, which is probably why I'm not a big fan now, because I would climb, thanks to my brother who taught me how to climb. I learned how to climb that cherry tree, and I would be in that tree eating cherries, and Grandma would holler out the window, "If you don't get out of that tree, I'm not going to have no berries. I can't make it. Get down." I thought she couldn't see me because the branches were so low. But anyway, but there was always cherry cobbler and cherry pie and preserves and jelly and of course the fabulous meals that she would cook. I remember one time that she was such a cooker in the respect, truly old school. You didn't come in her kitchen when she was cooking. And I remember standing right here because I wanted water. I'd been out in the yard playing and I wanted water. And I was a tomboy and a dirty mess, and I came to the door and it was like she had antenna. She knew I was standing there. "What you want, baby?" I said, "Grandma, can I have water?" She stopped what she was doing, wiped her hands on that towel that she had tucked in her apron, went to the sink, got me water, brought it right here. I stood here and drank it. She said, "You had enough?" I said, "Yes, I had enough." And she said, "All right, back on plane." That was the end of that, and so I remember, and this story is more about Tammy than it is me. So I remember when Grandma we came in, and I think we were coming for a dinner. Grandma didn't have her dentures in, and she was sitting in a chair right in that corner. And I came in and gave her a hug and a kiss, and Tammy came in behind me, and Grandma smiled and said, "Hey, baby," but she didn't have no teeth in her. Scared the shit out of Tammy. I was scared to death. That was hilarious to me. I was like, "That's Grandma." That was funny too.
And actually, that was the day Grandma had come home from the hospital.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but the last, so all of, I have to admit that all of my good memories happened in my earlier years. My recent memories in the last 15 to 20 years, some have been good, some have been really, really bad, but this has been an incredible transitional period for me. And it has taught me, number one, what my strongest gifts are, but it has also taught me to take care of me, how to take care of me. And so, and I'm happy to leave this place. I really am. I'm okay with leaving this place. No, I can't because it's itching. But I'm happy to leave this place because this opens a new door for me. I feel like I have accomplished something, and that part of my life, though it is a wonderful part of my life, is now over, and new doors are open for me. So that's what I am.
Everybody got to that realization I could do better with my movie.
All right, anybody else want to anything to say?
Becky wants to say something.
Becky?
My memories are singular as well, but cherry trees and Auntie's garden